Hello, my name is Mark. It's been a long time since I've made a video speaking on the topics I'm going to begin speaking to you about today. I decided to come out to a beautiful place here in Central Texas, not too far from the headwaters, the sacred springs of the San Marcos River. We're a bit further down, but as you can see, it's a beautiful place, a beautiful river. This is home for me. It is, again, a sacred place, a place sacred to Native American peoples. There's a creation story associated with these waters that's approximately 4,000 years old that speaks of our springs here in San Marcos as the creation springs. And when you're here, and when you're immersed in this energy, you can actually feel it around you. Feel the weight of populations that have lived in this region for many, many, many thousands upon thousands of years. Probably for as long as humans have been in the Americas. As soon as they made it down here from Beringia, down through Alaska, Canada, into the United States, down here into Central Texas, people have been here in this region. So it's from this setting that I'm speaking to you today. And the reason why I've decided to begin making videos again is because of these times, the nature of the times that we currently exist in. I don't have to tell you that these are amazing and wondrous as well as terrible times. You know, there's more people, more death, but at the same time, there's more life, there's more love, you know, and you can feel the nature of the energies in these days as we pass through them, doing our mundane chores and tasks, going about our daily business. Everything feels as if it has a special significance, doesn't it? It feels as if there's an underlying meaning that you can barely see or feel, but you know it's there, you know? It feels almost as if you're living in fated times, and you are. At least a lot of people believe that we are today. I have been a member of the alternative community for probably my entire life. I have been upon this awakening path for most of my life, if not all of my life. My very first memory at about 3 years old is of laying in grass, looking up at the sky and feeling at one with the world around me. And the awakening moments have not stopped ever since. It makes me a little bit strange, a little bit unusual. The people who know me and love me can attest to that very well. And I hope through a series of videos that we'll begin today that you will find that some of the insights that I offer kind of come from a slightly different perspective than those that you're used to. Some of the things that I'll speak about generally include twin flame energetics. There's a lot out there these days about people claiming to know what types of energies that we embody, and a lot of it comes from a very positive and meaningful space within these individuals' life. But I feel that there is a lot of quote-unquote love and light energies that like to see the best in things, and you know, that's wonderful to see the best in life and in people, but you know what? We live in polarity. We live in this world of opposites. We live in a space where the hermetic laws are true, where there is male and female, where there is dark and light, where there is all of these necessary scientific aspects of creation that allow the world to exist, and all of this beauty that you see here today, that allows this water to flow the way that it flows, that allows these plants to grow the way that they grow, and allows these rocks, the grandfathers and grandmothers, to exist the way they do. All of it that you see, all of us are a form of resonant harmonics. You know, we are literally light. We are literally love in action. God is love. And it is in this space of being that we exist and we live our lives, engaging in our dramas with our families and friends, going to work, stopping at the water cooler, talking about The Walking Dead or any other shows that you might find interesting these days. And you have to wonder about the distractions in life, about the things that take us away from what should be important to us, that stop us from coming out here in nature and experiencing this world in its natural pristine beauty. And there are still spaces, even in the most urbanized areas, where you can find spots where nature has created a refuge, an energetic space of being where you can find peace and exist in the moment. This is one such space for me. So there's a lot of talk currently about the event. And the event has to do with something that has been coming for a long, long time. I guess you could say it's been coming forever, because there is no cause and there is no effect. The first cause, the first effect is so far beyond our ken that only individualized internal gnosis can reveal it for us each individually. And that's what we must go by in these days when there's so much disinformation out there and there is so many lies. There's so much fake news, so much alternative news, right? And so the only truth that we can find is the truth that we resonate with. The truth that feels within our hearts and our souls when we hear it. We know it. Our bodies start to vibrate. Our bodies start to resonate. And we know that we are in the presence of something beyond us, something larger, something higher, something finer in its vibrational emanations that just flows through us. And we call it truth with a big T, rather than relative truth with a small t. Back in 2011, I made a video called A New Earth. You can find it here on my channel, as you will also find many other videos, music videos, spoken word poetry videos, and other types of videos as well. Energetic videos that I did with Soraya, my twin flame, mother of my son Jaden. These videos have covered quite the span of time. I probably began them back in the late 2000s, but I took some time off. I took about 5 years off, and I haven't really made any videos in that time. And that's because I was pursuing a material path. As a representative on earth of the divine masculine, as all males are, and some females are, and as you, many of you, are representatives of the divine feminine, and some males are as well, we work and live within a greater context of energetics that affects us at every level of our beingness here on this planet. And it also is in effect when we are interacting with others. We are enacting dramas that are timeless in nature. We are enacting energetic imperatives that come with the movement of the sun and the moon, with the movement of the planets, with the movement of our solar system, Sol system, through the galaxy. As Sol system perambulates around the black hole sun, the central sun, in the center of our galaxy. That singularity that emanates waves of energy. Energy that permeates different spaces of the galaxy. Not all spaces in the galaxy are the same. Right now, we are within a sector of the galaxy that we have not been in many millions of years. And so we are experiencing energies, cosmic rays, protons, gamma rays, all other types of rays in different variations than we have. And this is always changing as our solar system moves through different parts of the galaxy. And so now we've entered a new part of the galaxy where we are being bombarded by rays of a higher and finer vibrational reality. And our world is shifting in order to reflect that. Now, it's very difficult to pin down all of the different inputs that are affecting our systems. It is the sun, it is the moon, it is the planets, it is this earth herself, Gaia Sophia. She is the truth. She herself is a conscious being, and we are a part of her, just like the bacterial colonies in our guts are a part of us. They may not seem like it sometimes when they're asking for food or when they're sick of something that you've eaten, but they are a part of us. We are systems, planetary systems, star systems, universes within ourselves. As above, so below. Another hermetic truth. What is within is also without. There are worlds within us. And so we can tell and feel by the way that our bodies respond to these energies what's going on outside of us if we have attuned our frequency and our consciousness to a high enough state whereby we can actually intuit the meaning of what's going on. And that's difficult to do because there's a lot of inputs that we add into our bodies that stop us from doing so. From drugs to alcohol to food, even. The GMOs, the genetically modified food. A lot of those ingredients actually change our DNA, you know? It's something that we imbibe because it's filled with sugar. It may taste good, it may be convenient. And we live lives of convenience these days. And we do so to the detriment of our natural selves, our higher spiritual selves, which is something that if you are on a conscious spiritual path, you at some point must decide to come out of. And so the event has been coming forever, and it will continue forever beyond us. There is no beginning, there is no end, but at the same time, there are many beginnings and there are many ends. People say, the sages say, the ancients say, that life occurs in spirals and also in cycles. And there is no difference between the two. One is a two-dimensional representation of a three-dimensional reality, which is where we live, what we inhabit every single day. We repeat cycles within our lives, but we repeat them at higher iterations each time, which means we're spiraling up through space and time as we continue our journeys into the highest aspects of being. We never change, but at the same time we do change. And you ask, how can the two things be true simultaneously? Well, we have an essence that is higher than us, part of our higher selves, part of the names of God. That is what it is and has been what it is since the beginning of time and even before. And at the same time, we do change because we are individuals that are encased within these flesh puppets, some people call them, and we are mired within the three-dimensional world. When we first come, we come as our eternal and infinite selves. And as we take on language and learning, as we learn from our families, and when we go to school, we learn from our schools, we gradually create this layer of information, of data that obscures our true selves. And the rest of our lives, once we decide upon the conscious path, consists of removing those layers and returning back to the clarity that we had when we came into this life, full of innocence and full of joy at the very possibilities of existence itself. The event is the fulfillment of that promise for those who follow a conscious spiritual path. It is the way that the light will rarefy our frequencies and allow us to continue to exist upon the new earth or move higher. It will be our choice once that time arrives. I'm sure some of you already have an idea of what you will choose. I know I do, and perhaps we'll talk about that. We will talk about that at some point in the near future. But this is basically an introductory video, me coming back out of my shell, my material worldly shell, and engaging the world again as who and what I am fully. And I'll share that information with you as well as we move forward. Namaste. In Lakesh Alakin, I am another you. Peace and Ashe. I'll see y'all again.